The term New World Order has very sinister, spooky, conspiratorial associations with it, and it seems to get applied pretty
carelessly
to any new shift in geopolitical, legal, cultural landscapes. And I suppose in that context, it is kind of spooky. Really, who wants a new world order? I like this world order. For some, I'm sure the idea of a new world order is actually a very welcome concept. So this week, someone sent me a YouTube video, a long one, a 45-minute video entitled
The Changing World Order.
And it was created by Ray Dalio. If you don't know him, he's a billionaire hedge fund manager. And it was created as a promo for or a supplement to his new book on the same topic. Now, the video is 45 minutes long, like I said, but I cannot overstate how important it is to watch this video and the content that's in that video. Even if, as is the case with this video, the news ends up not being the best. It's really equal parts terrifying and in a weird way calming. And I think maybe, like me, you'll end up reframing how you think about the term New World Order. So the video breaks down the concept of empires, that is the rise, the plateau, and eventual decline of all the empires that we're aware of to date in historical record. And as the evidence mounts, you start to see where this is headed. You start to really see how the US is in lockstep with all these historical precedents before, and how it's following these markers almost to a T. So Ray does a phenomenal job of articulating these ideas, much better than I am going to try to do here in this short video. But after 45 minutes, he comes to two conclusions after going through years and years of historical, cultural, social implications. He comes to these two conclusions. He concludes that the decline of the US can be reversed or slowed down by just two things. One, earn more than we spend, and treat each other well. It's that simple. So getting along, as it turns out, is actually a matter of national security. This really puts things in perspective when YouTube and social media just feed you an endless stream of red versus blue dunking on each other. So sticking it to your political opponent may feel great as a team sport, but it's actually actively disintegrating the empire that we all love. The reality is, life isn't like YouTube or social media. You know, I have many acquaintances with whom I share zero political or ideological overlap. And when we meet each other in person, it's normal. It's not like online. We don't immediately launch into red versus blue politics and arguing over the current topical event of the day. I ask what their dog has been up to lately. I ask where they're going for vacation, because it would be weird, and you wouldn't have any friends if you greeted someone and interacted in the same way that you do in sort of the digital sphere. It would be weird to say or do 3/4 of the stuff that we feel emboldened to do and say online.
What the hell is even that?
You would have no friends if you talked only about the stuff that we talked about online and you were that myopic in your focus. You would be a crazy person that no one wanted to be around in real life. The reality is, life isn't that sexy. It's a lot more pedestrian in the reality of it outside of online. There isn't a lot of time to argue about who was right in the Jussie Smollett case when you're actively involved in doing something meaningful with your life and working and having relationships and having fun. But man, it feels great to score one on the opposing political party, doesn't it? So short story long, it feels ridiculous for me to even try to say anything about this. The world is upside down and chaos. I have a tiny audience. Why should anyone care about my opinion? But honestly, I think it's a message worth spreading, even if it's in a small way. At the end of the day, big fan of America. You know, I really think that the current world order is better than a lot of potential world orders that are waiting in the wings. So there it is. Watch the video or don't. Do whatever you want. I know it's a long time commitment. And maybe, like me, you'll also rethink the term New World Order. And remember, being cool to each other is quite literally a matter of life and death.